Across the vast, shimmering expanse of the Pacific, a story was written not on stone or papyrus, but into the very skin of its explorers. This is the chronicle of a living ink, a sacred cartography of the soul that guided humanity across 1/3 of the planet. We are about to journey deep into a world where tattoos were not mere decoration, but a sophisticated technology encoding genealogies, tribal histories, and even celestial navigation charts that modern science is only now beginning to comprehend. This forgotten language of patterns and lines reveals a profound connection between the human body and the cosmos, a bond so powerful it enabled the greatest migration in human history. Because what you are about to witness is the rediscovery of a lost science, an art form that turns sailors into living libraries and their skin into the most important map on Earth. In the mist-shrouded volcanic valleys of the Marquesas Islands, the art of tattoo reached an apex of breathtaking complexity, where master artists known as Tahona would spend weeks meticulously tapping sharpened bone combs dipped in a potent ink of burnt candlenut soot into the skin of warriors and chiefs. These dense, geometric patterns, covering a person from their eyelids to their toes, were far more than aesthetic statements. They were a form of spiritual armor, with each swirling motif and linear design representing a specific lineage, a divine ancestor, or a protective deity meant to shield the bearer from malevolent spirits and the crushing physical dangers of their environment. Furthermore, the agonizing, rhythmic tapping of the tattooing comb, a sound that echoed through the villages for days, was a sacred rite of passage that transformed a youth into an adult, their new skin becoming a public declaration of their identity, their heritage, and their unbreakable connection to the land itself. In addition to its social function, recent archaeological analysis of ancient tattooing tools suggests an incredible level of precision, indicating that these patterns were standardized visual codes, a complex library of symbols that every member of the society could read and understand instantly. Meanwhile, among the Maori of Aotearoa, the practice of tamoko evolved into a unique and deeply personal art form, one that literally carved a person's story into their face with small, serrated chisels called uhi, creating grooved scars that held the ink permanently within the skin's texture. Unlike the puncturing techniques found elsewhere, this method sculpted the face, with each intricate spiral on the cheek detailing a person's wakapapa or genealogy, and every line on the chin and forehead signifying their social standing, their specific skills, and their most significant life achievements. Although excruciatingly painful, the process was a profound spiritual journey, as the head was considered the most sacred part of the body, and the moko was believed to be a direct physical manifestation of an individual's inner essence and ancestral power, a unique signature that could not be replicated. Consequently, these facial carvings were so integral to a person's identity that they were often used to sign treaties with European colonists, serving as an undeniable testament to the individual's presence and authority, a concept that fundamentally challenged the Western reliance on written signatures. Further out, on the remote coral atolls of Micronesia, a highly specialized and now almost entirely lost form of tattooing served a purpose that stuns modern navigators. It was a literal map of the ocean, a permanent star chart etched onto the bodies of the legendary Po navigators. These masters of the sea would have diagrams of wave swell patterns, representing the way ocean currents refract around islands, tattooed onto their backs and chests, allowing them to feel the subtle changes in the water's movement through the hull of their outrigger canoes. In addition to these wave maps, specific constellations and the angles between critical stars used for steering through the night were marked on their arms and hands, creating a biological sextant that was always with them, impervious to the salt spray and storms that would destroy any paper chart. Because this knowledge was a closely guarded secret passed down through rigorous apprenticeships, the tattoos were the final initiation, a sacred text that transformed the navigator's body into an infallible instrument of exploration, capable of locating specks of land hundreds of miles apart in the empty blue. The universal thread connecting these diverse traditions was the profound, transformative power of ritualized pain, an element that anthropologists like Dr. Lars Krutak argue was essential for cementing the tattoo's immense social and spiritual significance. The ordeal, often lasting for days or even weeks and accompanied by constant chanting and the support of the entire community, was a crucible that forged not only individual identity but also unbreakable social bonds, creating a shared experience of suffering and endurance that reinforced collective values. Furthermore, the intense and prolonged pain is believed to trigger the release of powerful endorphins and other neurochemicals, potentially inducing altered states of consciousness where the initiate felt a direct connection to their ancestors and the divine, making the tattoo a physical anchor for a deeply spiritual awakening. This biochemical process, combined with the rhythmic sounds and communal energy, effectively burned the cultural data encoded in the tattoo's patterns into the individual's memory and psyche, ensuring the knowledge would be preserved and revered for generations. Therefore, we must reframe our understanding of these markings not as primitive decorations, but as a highly evolved form of externalized data storage, a biological hard drive that preserved critical cultural information for millennia before the advent of writing. These intricate lines and swirls represent one of humanity's earliest and most intimate solutions to the fundamental problem of memory, embedding vast quantities of genealogical, historical, and scientific knowledge directly onto the human canvas. This practice of embodied cognition, where the body itself becomes an integral part of the thinking and remembering process, challenges our modern separation of mind and body, revealing a far more integrated vision of human intelligence. What we are looking at is a testament to an intellectual tradition that saw the human form as the ultimate vessel for knowledge, a living library walking the earth. This is not a lost art, but a living pulse that beats within the heart of the Pacific. It is a profound reminder that our bodies are not just vehicles for our minds, but the very parchment on which our greatest stories are written. The ink of the ancestors flows still, telling a timeless story of who we are, where we come from, and the infinite ocean of stars we have yet to explore.